smooth, A. Smooth.
Speaking of the devil, as we said, Stephen A. Smith threw a little shade towards the Detroit Lions. Dan Orlowski said that offensive line could guide us to the playoffs, and then he asked Stephen A. if he believed the same, and he said no. But almost like not yet type of thing. Like he says, I have to see it.
He said that he has to see it. He says they haven't proved it to him yet. Obviously, he brought out the history of the Detroit Lions not being a great franchise, and why that sways his opinion this year is beside me. But he's got some points. I'm not willing to say it just yet because the defense still needs some work. The defense, although it leads the league in pressures, it's ranked third worst in football. They're allowing 32.5 points per game, 273.5 passing yards per game. We know what the Eagles' rush attack did to us. They put up, 216 yards and 4 touchdowns from 4 different people. Carson Wentz went out there. He had 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, even added 23 yards rushing. So it is tough. We need that defense to step up a little bit before I'd buy in on them making the playoffs or them pushing for the playoffs. And hopefully that happens when we add some guys, when we get Romeo Okwara back, when we get, Josh Pascal onto this defense, and Levi hopefully coming back. Maybe that'll bolster that defense a little bit, but man, I'm not ready to say it yet, because is it more likely that the offense is a real deal? Is there going to be the third offense? Is that more likely to happen, or is it more likely the defense is going to be the third worst in the NFL? So it's tough. It's tough for me to buy in just yet.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm a guy who I feel like I could be easily swayed into can they make the playoffs, and vice versa, or whatever the hell else, because I'm a Detroit Lions fan. But I have no issue with him saying I need to see it. We saw positive things in the past 2 weeks, but as he said, I know that the past doesn't have to do with this year.
Yeah.
Last playoff win, I think it was January 5th, 1992.
Yes.
However, we're just so conditioned to losing.
Yeah.
Even in good situations. There's been multiple times where the NFC North was for the taking and we fumbled. We've had Jay Cutler and Aaron Rodgers go out down in the same year.
Yeah.
And we still missed the playoffs and missed a chance at one opportunity. That's where we had Stafford and Calvin Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So
and a good defense.
Yeah, and a good defense. I do feel like it's possible, but I'm not gonna guarantee. I'm not slamming my fist in the table. I know another thing too is, and I hate that I'm this way, but it's just the reality of it. Obviously, it'd be a lot spicier show or a lot spicier take if I were to say Detroit Lions make the playoffs, but a lot of things based on health. You know what I'm saying? You look at situations even around the NFL, like the Dallas Cowboys. That was one that you were worried about. I thought we could beat them either way, but now Dak Prescott out of the game.
Yes,
that looks like a lot more winnable game. It's just. There's a lot of stuff going to it,
There's a lot of stuff going into it, and as many games that look more winnable now, some of them look more losable as well. Like the Giants.
Okay.
It's a tough one. Dolphins obviously look fantastic. The Jaguars look like they're a better team. So it goes both ways for sure, and it's only week 2, so we got to see how some of these team plays out. Dak, I guess, was back at the practice field this week, so maybe he's not going to be out for the Lions game, and it's still going on the road to Jerry's World to play Dallas. So I'm not ready to. Again, if we had a defense that I could say, they're legit, they're doing things. Look at that, they're stopping people, they're not allowing touchdowns like that. Then I would say it. But allowing the second most points per game in the NFL is not something that I can be confident in.
Yeah, it does suck because obviously the first week we played the Eagles, and we did our power rankings early in the week. The Eagles are my 3rd best team in the league. I think they're going to put a lot of points on everybody. It's kind of crazy. Blows my mind almost that RPO, I've said it earlier too, it's supposed to be a college scheme, but no one seems to be able to stop it when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
In the NFL, the Premier League of football. But they're just so damn creative with it. And to the point of our defense, a lot of people pick on our rushing. I think it's 25th or 27th. A little bit fugazi in me because of that Eagles game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those rushing yards come from that Eagles game. Antonio Gibson only averaged 2 yards against the Detroit Lions last week. So I think our rush defense will be a little bit better than people think. I think they have to step up big time. This week's a great test for them.
This week will be a big test. Yeah, because like you said, it was, Jalen Hurts had 90 yards rushing. Miles Sanders had 96 yards rushing. Kenneth Gainwell, I think he had 20-something, and then they all scored. Four backs scored a touchdown for the Eagles. So a lot of that was that game. It was 216 total rushing yards for the Eagles in that game against the Lions. Yeah, the Washington Commanders don't really have the same rushing attack, so that can be different. The Eagles obviously have a great offensive line. Washington Commanders not so much. This will be more of a flag stick game to see what the rushing defense looks like, because Dalvin Cook is a great running back.
100%.
Alexander Mattison is a great backup. Their offensive line, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they look like against more of a balance, more of a measuring stick game against the Vikings. And if they can stop Dalvin Cook, that would be huge.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that I don't think I guess it's not like a negative on the team or the coaching staff. In terms of like us making the playoffs this year, it's just, I mean, we're very much in the developmental stage.
Yes.
And Dan Campbell said those things too. Is like the way we are this year, we do not really know what this team is until after like that first 2 to 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first 2 to 4 games is correcting the mistakes, correcting those missed assignments, and then from then you worry about winning games. But the first 2 are just getting the BS out the way.
Yeah.
JB. Obviously, you watch Stephen A. every morning. You think he's on that BS, or yeah? How you feeling after the first 2 games? Think the Lions make the playoffs?
Oh man, well, 9 wins, probably make the wild card, but then get knocked out, of course, like usual. But of course, Stephen A. is always on that BS, man. I mean, come on, he wakes up in the morning to find something to argue with someone about. It doesn't even matter. Like
that's blasphemous.
That's just Stephen A. Smith. That's just how he is. But man, he needs to put some respect on the Lions at least. Maybe we gotta show him, but he definitely needs to put some respect on us.